Consumerism. Everywhere we turn, we're bombarded with ads telling us to buy more, spend more, and accumulate more. We're constantly being told that happiness, success, and even our self-worth can be found in the next purchase, the latest gadget, or the trendiest clothes. But deep down, we know that this isn't true. We know that the thrill of a new purchase fades quickly, leaving us wanting more, never truly satisfied. So how do we navigate this consumer-driven world without losing our sense of self? How do we resist the urge to buy into the idea that more stuff equals more happiness? That's where Stoicism comes in. The Stoics had a lot to say about desires, material possessions, and the pursuit of a meaningful life. Their wisdom can help us break free from the grip of consumerism and find contentment in simplicity and virtue. Today, we're diving deep into the Stoic approach to consumerism, how to live well without getting caught up in the endless cycle of wanting more. Part 1. The nature of desire. Let's start with the basics. The nature of desire. The Stoics believed that unchecked desires are the root of much of our unhappiness. They taught that we often chase after things we think will make us happy, only to find that they don't. It's like a hamster on a wheel. No matter how fast you run, you never really get anywhere. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, would remind us that true happiness doesn't come from external things, possessions, wealth, or status, but from within. It comes from living in accordance with our values, from practicing virtue, and from being content with what we have. When we understand this, we can start to see consumerism for what it really is, a distraction from what truly matters. The Stoics would encourage us to question our desires, to ask ourselves whether the things we're chasing after are really worth it. Are they contributing to our growth, our peace of mind, our ability to live a good life? Or are they just adding clutter to our lives and our minds? Part 2. The illusion of happiness in possessions. One of the biggest myths in our consumer culture is that happiness can be bought. We're constantly told that the latest product, the newest gadget, or the most fashionable clothes will make us happier, more successful, or more fulfilled. But the Stoics knew that this is an illusion. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, wrote extensively about the dangers of wealth and luxury. He argued that while material possessions might bring temporary pleasure, they don't bring lasting happiness. In fact, they often lead to more anxiety and dissatisfaction, as we constantly worry about losing what we have or not having enough. The Stoic approach is to seek happiness in things that can't be taken away: our character, our virtues, our relationships, and our inner peace. These are the things that truly matter, and they don't come with a price tag. By focusing on these, we can break free from the illusion that more stuff equals more happiness. Part 3. Practicing contentment and simplicity. Contentment and simplicity are at the heart of the Stoic way of life. The Stoics believed that by wanting less, we can be content with what we have and find peace in simplicity. This doesn't mean we have to live like monks or give up all our possessions. It's about being mindful of what we truly need and letting go of the rest. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, often wrote about the importance of living a simple, focused life. He believed that we should strip away the unnecessary so we can concentrate on what truly matters, living a life of virtue, wisdom, and purpose. In today's world, this might mean being more intentional with our purchases, focusing on quality over quantity, and appreciating what we already have. It might mean decluttering our homes, our minds, and our lives, so we have more space for the things that truly matter: our relationships, our passions, our personal growth. By practicing contentment and simplicity, we can free ourselves from the endless cycle of consumerism and find a deeper, more lasting sense of happiness and fulfillment. Part 4. Detachment from material possessions. Another key Stoic principle is detachment, particularly from material possessions. The Stoics taught that we should enjoy what we have, but not become attached to it. After all, everything we own is temporary, and clinging to it only leads to suffering. Epictetus often spoke about the importance of being prepared to lose anything at any time without losing our peace of mind. He believed that true freedom comes from understanding that our happiness doesn't depend on external things, but on our own inner resources. In a consumer-driven world, this might mean being willing to let go of things when they no longer serve us, rather than holding on to them out of fear or attachment. It might mean practicing gratitude for what we have without becoming overly attached to it. By cultivating this mindset, we can enjoy the things we have without being enslaved by them. Part 5. Mindful consumption. Mindfulness is a key aspect of Stoic practice, and it applies just as much to our consumption habits as it does to our thoughts and actions. The Stoics would encourage us to be mindful of what we consume, whether it's food, media, or material goods, and to ask ourselves whether it's truly benefiting us. Seneca often warned against the dangers of excess, arguing that overindulgence in anything, whether it's food, drink, or luxury, leads to a lack of self-control and a loss of peace. The Stoic approach is to consume mindfully in moderation and with an awareness of how our consumption affects our well-being and our character. In today's world, this might mean being more conscious of our spending habits, choosing quality over quantity, and avoiding impulsive purchases. It might mean being selective about the media we consume, focusing on content that enriches us rather than distracts us. By practicing mindful consumption, we can make choices that align with our values and contribute to our overall well-being. Part 6. The Stoic response to advertising and consumer pressure. Finally, let's talk about how the Stoics would respond to the constant pressure to buy more, do more, and be more that we face in our consumer-driven society. Advertising is designed to create desire, to make us feel like we're missing out if we don't have the latest product or trend. But the Stoics would encourage us to resist this pressure, to remember that our worth isn't determined by what we own or how we compare to others. Epictetus would remind us that the only thing we truly control is our own mind, how we think, how we react, and how we choose to live. By cultivating a Stoic mindset, we can resist the pull of consumerism and stay focused on what truly matters, living a life of virtue, wisdom, and purpose. We can choose to be content with what we have, rather than constantly striving for more. We can choose to live simply, mindfully, and with intention, rather than being driven by the demands of a consumer-driven society. Conclusion: embracing the Stoic path in a consumer world. So, my friend, as we navigate this world of endless choices, advertisements, and the pressure to consume, let's remember the wisdom of the Stoics. Let's focus on what truly matters: our character, our relationships, and our inner peace. Let's practice contentment and simplicity, and let go of the things that don't serve us. By embracing the Stoic path, we can find freedom from the cycle of consumerism and live a life of true happiness, fulfillment, and purpose. So next time you're tempted by the latest trend or the next big purchase, pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, does this align with my values? Is this helping me live the life I want to live? Remember, my friend, happiness isn't something you can buy. It's something you cultivate through the choices you make and the life you live. So let's choose wisely, live simply, and stay true to our Stoic principles in this consumer-driven world.